Hi, I'm Christopher Hendricks in the History Department on the Armstrong campus of Georgia Southern, and today we're going to talk about 18th century and early 19th century cooking. A book, arguably the first truly American cookbook, came out in 1824, and it was written by a cousin of Thomas Jefferson's named Mary Randolph. And last year, my mother, Sue Hendricks, and I did an updated version of her original recipes. And today we're going to make a very simple dessert. This is called raspberry cream. And Randolph includes about a half dozen creams. And these things are not exactly drinks. They're not exactly puddings. They're something in the between, but they're really easy to make and they're delicious. All you need is raspberry jam and cream, and let's get started. Now, in Randolph's original recipe, she first has you make the raspberry marmalade. We're going to skip that. Just pick up a simple raspberry jam, preserve, whatever. We're going to make 2. So you use your jam. Make sure it's seedless. It'll make things blend easier. And we're going to break this up a little bit so that it'll mix well. It's easiest to do this with a whisk. And since we're just making 2 desserts, you need a cup of cream. And just mix this in with the jam. You'll want to use enough jam to give it a nice, rich color. And make sure that it's well blended. And that's it. So now that we have mixed it together, we're just going to pour them into parfait glasses. Randolph, as a member of one of Virginia's elite families in the 18th century, would have entertained quite a bit, so had to be masterful at a variety of different desserts. But this would have been an easy thing, especially in the winter months, although she did invent a refrigerator device, which she included in her second edition of the cookbook, which originally was named the Virginia Housewife. So she could have made these cream desserts all year round. Unfortunately, the family got into some financial difficulties, and her husband ended up traveling to Britain to try to get some interest in some of his inventions and some knowledge in coal mining operations, leaving her at home to raise their children. She ended up supporting the family by running a boarding house in Richmond for several years, even after her husband came home. And as a retirement project, she decided that she was going to record all of her recipes, and the cookbook was born. So after we've mixed the cream and the jam together, you stick it in the refrigerator or the freezer for at least an hour, just depending on how thick you would like to have it. And once it's done, it's going to look like this. Now, to finish it off, you can do a couple of things. One thing that Mary Randolph recommends is to top it with whipped cream. Now you can save some of your cream and whip it, or if you've got a canister of real whipped cream, nobody's going to know. Then finish it off with some raspberries themselves. You can even put a few around the plate. And you have a really simple but elegant dessert for your holiday table, thanks to an 18th century cook and America's oldest cookbook.